The air in the house felt off, thick with a silence that clung to my skin like damp fog. I stood in the kitchen, keys still dangling from one hand, the other pressed against the counter as if it could keep me anchored. The clock on the wall seemed too loud. Every tick felt like a hammer against my skull. It was 2:17 p.m., and Sarah shouldn't have been home. Her car wasn't in the driveway, yet her shoes, those red heels she wore to the office, lay scattered by the door. One lay tipped, as if kicked off in a rush. My stomach knotted cold when I heard faint voices drifting from upstairs. I'd come home early, a rare break from the construction site, where dust and sweat were constant companions. I'd planned a surprise, maybe cooked the pasta she loved. The one with basil, she said, reminded her of our first date. But the house didn't smell like basil or her perfume. It carried something sharper, a cedar and musk tang that felt foreign and invasive. My boots fell heavier with each step toward the stairs. The steps creaked under my weight, announcing me down the empty hall. The voices sharpened, a low murmur punctuated by a laugh. Her laugh, soft and unguarded, the kind she once saved for me. I tried to tell myself it was nothing. Maybe a friend had dropped by, maybe she'd taken an early day too, and they were catching up, but my pulse roared in my ears and my hands trembled as I climbed. Each step brought me closer to something I didn't want to face. The bedroom door was ajar, a sliver of light spilling into the hallway. I froze, breath caught when I heard it, a low, throaty moan, unmistakably hers. My heart lurched, a wild animal trapped in my chest. I pushed the door open slowly, deliberate, because part of me desperately wanted to be wrong. They didn't notice me at first. Sarah lay on the bed, her hair fanned across the pillow we'd shared, her body tangled in the sheets I'd bought her for our anniversary. The man, broad-shouldered, dark-haired, his shirt half unbuttoned, leaned over her, his lips grazing her neck. The image seared into my retinas, a snapshot I'd never unsee. My throat closed. For a moment I couldn't breathe, move, or think past the raw, jagged pain slicing through me. "Sarah," I said, my voice low and cracked, like I didn't know my own name. They froze. Her eyes snapped to mine, wide with panic. The man scrambled back, his face a mass of shock. But it was her expression that gutted me. Guilt, yes, but something else too, almost a defiant look, as if I'd interrupted something she believed she deserved. "Matt," she gasped, clutching the sheet to her chest. "You're home early?" The man fumbled for his shoes, mumbling something incoherent. But I didn't care about him. My eyes fixed on her, the woman I'd loved for 8 years, the woman I built a life with, the woman who promised me forever in a church full of roses and tears. "Why?" The word ripped out of me, raw and jagged, carrying the full weight of my heartbreak. She opened her mouth and closed it, lips trembling. "I didn't mean for you to see this," she said at last, her voice small, as if words could soften the betrayal. The man moved toward the door, trying to slip past me. I grabbed his arm, my grip hard enough to bruise. "Who are you?" I demanded, voice shaking with anger barely contained. "Matt, don't," Sarah pleaded, scrambling out of bed, the sheet trailing like a phantom. "This is Ryan. He's just a friend." A hollow, bitter laugh escaped me. "You don't have asterisk your friends, Sarah." Ryan yanked free, his face flushed with either shame or fear. I couldn't tell which. "Look, man, I didn't know she was married," he said, hands up like he could ward off my fury. His eyes flicked to her, and I saw it. A flash of a lie, a shared secret they assumed I was too blind to notice. "Get out," I said, voice low and dangerous. He didn't argue. He grabbed his jacket and bolted. The front door slammed, leaving me with her in a silence heavier than before. Sarah was crying now, tears carving tracks down her face, but they didn't move me. Not anymore. "Matt, I'm so sorry," she sobbed, reaching for me. I stepped back. Her touch felt like a brand. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. It was a mistake. A mistake? I echoed, my voice rising despite myself. "How long, Sarah? How long have you been lying to me?" She hesitated, and that pause answered for her. "A few months," she admitted, barely above a whisper. "But it didn't mean anything. I swear, Matt, I love you." The words struck like a slap, not because I doubted her sincerity, but because they sounded hollow. Memories crowded my mind. The late nights she blamed on work, the unanswered texts, the way her laughter had started to feel rehearsed. The signs had been there, small and insidious, but I'd ignored them, chalking everything up to stress or life. I trusted her. I loved her so fiercely I'd blinded myself. Anger flared. I turned away, hands clenched, the urge to smash something nearly overwhelming. The room felt tight, walls closing in, the air thick with her perfume and his cologne. I stumbled to the dresser, and my fingers brushed a framed photo of us at the lake last summer, her smile wide and hopeful. I wanted to hurl it against the wall, watch it splinter like my trust, but I couldn't move. "Matt, please," she begged, voice breaking. "Talk to me. We can fix this." My anger boiled over. "You broke us, Sarah. You broke me." My voice cracked, and I hated how that vulnerability exposed how much I still wanted her to turn this into a nightmare I could wake from. She sank onto the bed, shoulders shaking with sobs. I couldn't comfort her, not when every fiber of me screamed betrayal. I thought of the future I planned. Kids, a house by the coast, growing old together. All of it felt like ash now, scattered by her choices.